All right, folks, welcome back to the American Dota League. It is, of course, day number 2 here between Shadows of the Past and Isurus Gaming here in a 2-game series, already into game number 2, the last game of the evening here. And, of course, great victory early on for Shadows of the Past in that last game. Just putting the pressure so hard on Isurus Gaming. Thanks for joining us, of course. My name is Mont. With me is Kyle Guy. How are you doing, sir?
Doing great, Mont. Happy to be here as always. And, well, let's go ahead and take this one home. The final matchup, or final game, rather, of the day number 2 here in the American Dota League. It should be a good one. Hopefully, we'll see if Isurus Gaming can end up evening things up before they do call it a night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, they played okay in that last game. They had a couple of good opportunities to really take the game, but eventually they didn't really fight early on, and when they got caught out, they got caught out hard, and they really were having a tough time later on to the game with positioning in terms of getting picked off, the lasso, the bounty hunter tracking people up and killing them rather easily. And with a rather unconventional draft, take the victory, which means that, you know, they're already 1-0 here, of course, in the ADL. So they'll try to take that second victory up, but Isurus Gaming, they can bring it back, tied up to 1-1. I do want to note, and this was discussed a bit, I think, in the lobbies, that 999 was playing at about 500 plus ping that entire time as we're playing on USC, so that can be considered an issue for Isurus Gaming. They might have an easier time if 999 his internet's and if it holds up. We'll see how it goes, though.
And that could also factor in their very own draft. They don't want to give him a hero that requires a lot of, you know, quick reactions and pings. I mean, I can't remember. Was he the Ancient Apparition last time? Nyx Assassin. See, that's a hero I would think that would require a good amount of quick reaction, especially when you have an Impale to work with. So we'll see if they try to change things up this time around. Lycan in the first banning phase, what a surprise there. I mean, we're not going to see him for tonight. I don't even know if we've seen him yet in the ADL, so that just goes to show how strong this hero is nowadays. Ember now prominently banned this time around. Same goes with the Invokers, so we'll see if they want to go into the priority platinum pool of offlaners, if they want to grab the early Bat Rider, the Nyx Assassin, the Centaur, or what have you, Mott. Just anyone who's the new flavor of the month.
Honestly, I don't know. I think there's a couple of options. A lot of people like picking up the AA first. Don't do that. I think Centaur is a more high value target. I think, and we've seen it before. Like Hydra played the Ancient Apparition last game, and yeah, it's good, and like it can almost like win you a game if you have some really good Ice Blasts. But I think that's you're valuing that hero a bit too much now, and I think teams are starting to realize that. Maybe I'm wrong. Chilling Touch is so good early on in lane, but if you're not going to be going like aggro try, if you're only going to be going against a hero that's kind of difficult to deal with, and that like if he's in an off lane and you know you can't really bring him down, there's no point in getting an Ancient Apparition with Chilling Touch that can't do anything. So I would really like to see a Centaur first, or at least somebody that's not an Ancient Apparition, in my opinion. I think.
No, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We've seen times when they want to go with their prominent off-lane pickup first, because that's a very important... Oh, I'm sorry, Mont. Well, Isurus Gaming don't care about you, and they don't care about how you feel about Ancient Apparition. They think he is just fantastic, so they're going to grab him up first, and now Shadows of the Past have to look into going against that. Maybe not go into heroes that are so heavy BKB reliant. I mean, Ice Blast does go through BKB. It's just one of those little niches that kind of makes you a little aggravated more towards the likes of an Ancient Apparition. But like we said, they could also do a run back. Nadrock, he did a fantastic job as that Bat Rider, and we'll see if that's something they want to go for once again.
Yeah, the thing is, though, the Dire jungle is not nearly as good as the Radiant jungle, and you don't have that camp to kind of work with like you do on the Radiant side, so Bat Rider could be an opportunity for them, but I just don't know if they're going to take it this time around. And they have a couple of other options, like the Centaur, which could work on that Dire side, whereas maybe a Bat Rider might not be as, you know, flexible. I guess he could go into the Radiant jungle and take the Radiant camps if you wanted to be aggressive, and that certainly could work if he's got room to do so. It really depends on how aggressive Nayrok want to be and how aggressive Shadows of the Past want to be. And really, though, Ross is available, and that's a hero we saw a lot of in like the past couple of days. Maybe they go for that, and that's okay. At this point, I think I value a Rasa over an Ancient Apparition. Which would you rather have on your team?
I mean, I guess it could depend on what kind of lineup you're looking for. If you're feeling like you want to be more aggressive and go for a heavy push, then yes, you can go for something like Shadow Shaman. And what works great with the Shadow Shaman is a Nature's Prophet already. So a heavy push duo in their own right. And I'm curious to see how it's going to work out in their favor. I mean, they have a little flexibility. Shadow Shaman can be used in the mid lane, but no surprises. He'll probably accompany the side lane and just do a little bit of a babysit early in the game. But he's really going to shine to his own when he does get those wards online.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Nature's Prophet's got to be in the off lane too. do, and that's something else to be careful of. He'll probably get those boots and try to stay alive and try to get whatever farm he can. So Isurus Gaming now, they'll probably pick up their offlaner here because there are so many options, and if they don't pick up one now, it might get banned out. Whether that's going to be like the Centaur, like we talked about, the Bat Rider, those two can get banned. The Clockwork might even get banned as well. So I would not be surprised to see an offlaner here, unless they want to go for the Dazzle, if they value that highly enough, or unless they have a pocket strategy coming out. And obviously, they have a couple pocket strategies that they can use as well. We talked about, and you talked about specifically, fullback Meepo. That's not going to be picked now, but who knows? Maybe we'll see if they go for the Clockwork when both the Centaur as well as the Bat Rider are available. And I don't know. We saw, of course, Snod do this in their series and had great success with IX Mike playing it. I don't know, though. I'm not sure how I feel about the early Clockwork pickup here for Isurus.
I mean, let's not forget the basics. Of course, Clockwork is a great offlaner. He has the ability, he can hold back the lane, keep it in his favor under the tower if he wants to, and of course that great initiation of the hook shot is always excellent. But in this particular matchup, it might be a bit questionable. It looks like he could potentially be going against the lane that involves the Shadow Shaman that's already a fair amount of lockdown, plus a global presence of Nature's Prophet, and they might be able to get some pickoffs on him. So he's going to have to play it very, very safe. I wouldn't expect this to be a manly Clockwork, especially in that off lane, if he does go against a Shadow Shaman aggressive try. So we'll see, though. I mean, I'm curious if they do go for that Meepo. Does Chilling Touch apply to all of the Meepos and they all get that bonus damage?
It should. It should definitely.
That's pretty good, Mott.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage, and you have to factor in also the changes to Meepo in the last patch. I mean, it still doesn't make him that much of a great hero, but like he still actually gets a clone at level 3. So if you could just get him experience, get him to level 3, he actually has 2 Meepos to work with. Obviously, of course, the reduction in terms of his how long he stays dead for, his respawn time, if you will. So we're throwing out a lot of hypotheticals here, but it could happen. I mean, it's something that you always have to keep in mind. And whoever is playing Dota,
anyone just coming into the door now and joining us in the cast are going to be like, "Why are these casters talking about Meepo? No one plays them." I mean, I'm just saying, fullback's a great Meepo. He's done it before. He's done it in the Helios tournament. It can happen.
We're theorizing. We're theorizing.
Yeah, we're theorizing. And if they do pull it out, it usually is their last pickup. You know, just in case Shadows of the Past happen to fall into some heavy AOE, then they'll be like, "No, we don't want to do that at all. That won't be worth it." You know, so that's just kind of something they might hold in their back pocket for now. So we'll see. But yeah, we're just theory crafting here. Both teams, though, not giving away too much information, except for the fact that Shadows might be going with a little bit of a assertive push.
Yeah, that seems to be the case, and that also kind of indicates that they're going to go for some early game aggression, whether that's going to be with like a Slark in the safe lane farming away or somebody along those lines. I'd imagine is what's going to happen. They have a Mirana option as well, and with Jackals, that's very nice. It's kind of almost like Nightmare to a certain extent. Who could be their next support pickup if they want to go for that lockdown? It really depends on how they want to play this. There are still a lot of options here available to them. The Bat Rider did get banned out. The Centaur did not. They probably won't run the Centaur because they have that Nature's Prophet. That wouldn't be a lot of course, it wouldn't make sense in terms of their laning, but I guess they picked up the Bounty Hunter as a farming Bounty Hunter last game, so who knows what they could do. They have a whole lot of options, and honestly, the way they drafted last series, you know, anything can happen. Anything is possible, according to Kevin Garnett.
I mean, this is a team that, very nice, by the way. This is a team that does not have a lot of information out there available if you wanted to look even at their match history. I mean, there's a lot of great individual players kind of coming together and they formed this team. And so we only have what was given to us last game. They could have all sorts of crazy backup strats and funny tactics that they've been using in maybe their pub games, or what have you. And they're going to look to bring them out here. And Slark in the mid draft is kind of an intriguing grab in its own right. A great snowball hero. So, I mean, we'll see if it's something that works in their favor.
Called it. Oh, guy, did I call it. I'm so happy. Yeah, Slark, I mean, he's starting to get picked up again from time to time. People are starting to realize that, hey, listen, this guy, he's got a place in the competitive scene. He can get the pounds going, lock some heroes down, and, I mean, Shadow Dance keeps him alive for a bit longer than you would like. So, all of a sudden, also, I think Dark Pact takes off Ice Blast. I could be wrong about that, but that would make sense. I mean, it takes pretty much every other buff off, or I guess debuff off, so that's something that I think is going to allow Slark to really go to town on these heroes. And now they've got to find a way to deal with him, and just maybe even like a Bane or some support that just has that lockdown, because guess what? Ancient Apparition certainly doesn't have that. A Clockwork, yes, he of course can hookshot, but then you're just going to pounce away anyways. So all of a sudden now you've got to find a way to deal with them, and instead they're going to go for a mid-hero that is, he can right-click the Slark down, yes, but this is a hero that's more so suited to the late game in general, not just towards the Slark encountering him, but trying to get to farm, of course, trying to get some CS and getting those Necromastery stacks and doing some damage.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if it works out in their favor. Excuse me, by the way. Yeah, American Dota, baby. Shadow Fiend, in the mid lane, heavy CS, heavy hitter. Um, he's picking it up early. There's still a fair amount of options here. The first thing that jumps out to me would be like a Viper to try to contest it. I don't know if that's something that Shadows of the Past can fall back on to make it work, however, but we'll see if it's something they go for. I was trying to think, and it's so funny because I was thinking, man, Isurus, if they do go for maybe a Shadow Demon, that would work nice with an Ancient Apparition because that's a guaranteed cold feed. But no, I guess Shadows of the Past just want to go for it for their own right. So that, I mean, it's a bit of lockdown in favor of them. It does work pretty nicely, and I mean, I can't hate on Shadow Demon. Is one of the best bodyguards, great defensive players in the whole hero pool.
Yeah, honestly, he's one of the old standbys. We used to see him all the time back around TI2 and thereabouts, but he has Soul Catcher. He's very, he can be aggressive or he could be defensive. He can play either way, and he can lock heroes down one way or another. He's really good at roaming, and I think that's what they're going to go for. Start off with the Disruption, throw up that, of course, Soul Catcher, then follow up with the Hex or the Shackles, and grab a kill on the Shadow Fiend or whoever they're roaming into. And maybe they could combine it up with another hero. They could even go for like a farming, like they could. That's the thing though. I don't know what they're gonna put mid now, and that's the interesting thing. I was gonna say like a farming Leshrac, but that's not gonna work because he's gonna be mid, so he's not gonna be kills with the Shadow Shaman and Shadow Demon unless they send the Shadow Shaman to the mid lane, which you talked about a bit earlier. There is that possibility coming through.
Yeah, they can do Shadow Shaman mid. They can pull out a Mirana and do a Sing Sing style mid Mirana and just have that quirky little combo with the Shadow Demon on the side in case you want to have that to fall back on. But I mean, we'll see. Isurus Gaming responding back with a Vengeful Spirit of their own, which is an intriguing grab. Sometimes nowadays we only see her grabbed as more of a direct counter pickup, but you can't hate on the extra disable and of course swap if you could set it up. But unless this is some sort of crazy core Vengeful Spirit, I mean, we'll get more information on the 5th pick, but as it stands right now, I would imagine being a support. And I don't know, I always have questionable thoughts about Vengeful Spirit being a support. I mean, her swap is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but its range is pathetic at level 1. So you pretty much have her as a little bit of minus armor and a stun. I don't know. I always have mixed feelings about her.
Yeah, and there are certain games when I feel really great about a Vengeful Spirit and swap and what it can provide you, and this is not one of those games, I think. And they're looking for lockdown, but they have other options as well. Boom, you called it, man. Mirana coming through. There it is.
Yeah, very nice. Mid lane Mirana, it looks like so far. And then if they happen to get a roaming Shadow Demon, that's just going to make things easy for a quick mid lane pickoff, especially on a Shadow Fiend who has no true escape mechanism rather early on. And if he gets really greedy going for CS, and sometimes mid players, man, they're sweating out trying to get those last hits in, making sure they meet their mid lane quota. They could forget about a lingering arrow that might just kind of fly in from the backdrop and get caught out. And next thing you know, you're losing the lane. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. And I'm curious what this 5th pick will be.
Oh,
Wraith King!
Wow.
What?
Oh, goodness. This is, I think, going to be an aggressive tri-lane coming out from Isurus, and I actually love the pickup now. This makes it that much better for Isurus to kind of put on the pressure towards Shadow of the Past. The problem is they're going into the Shadow Demon. They're going into the Shadow Shaman. They're going to have to try to bring down a Slark who's not easy to kill. So all of this aggression might be for nothing. If they do it as a defensive tri-lane, what are you getting exactly? Yes, you're getting an early ult potentially, but looks like we might have a bit of a remake. We are getting a stand-in coming out from Isurus Gaming. We'll jump into the next lobby here as I'm talking. Hopefully that's very quickly. In the meantime, guys, we'll put up maybe the AFK screen or not. I haven't decided yet. I guess we'll keep talking. We're already back in, I suppose.
It's funny to note. I don't know if this is going to be permanent or not. I guess that gives away. I'm not sure if we identified one of those other players as Chicken MC, I would believe, as he's changed his name to Sing Sing MC, and he's going to be the Mirana, apparently.
Yeah, that might be him.
It's Kevin, so I would assume that Kevin is also Chicken MC. Yeah, that would be my guess.
One of the veterans of the North American scene. He's played for a couple of teams. He's I guess a controversial figure right now. But as it stands, he is going to be in here. He's going to be playing. I think it is Chicken MC. I'm pretty sure that he's playing with them right now. So that's interesting. But I don't know. How long is this going to take, you think? I might just throw up the AFK screen as we stand here and wait. So you guys stick around. We'll be back as soon as the game gets started again. Hold on tight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the American Dota League. It is, of course, day 2. We've got our last game of the evening. We had a bit of a pause there in between the draft and now, but we're in it with the all-pick mode going through. Unfortunately, Isurus, they had to lose one of their players, and they will grab a stand-in to complete out this series. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. My name is Mott. With me tonight is Coddle Guy. How you doing, man?
Hey, Mott, I'm here. Sorry about the noise in the background. The wife is blending in the kitchen, of course, so... But I'm back. I'm here. I know it's a remake, and we got to all pick on our hands as everyone's going to get their heroes back online, and we'll get this one finally underway, and we can take it home.
Yeah, just one more game to go our way, and then we are going to be done and out of here for the evening. But it should be a good one right now, seeing Shadows of the Past with their draft, that trying to be aggressive kind of lineup. With the Isurus, they have that kind of let's go late with, of course, that safe lane farmer who kind of promotes early game aggression. The Shadow Fiend can take us late if we need to. We're just a couple of seconds underway from being underway, into this last game, obviously, so looks good. Of course, if you guys want to make sure you can watch this in-game, you can check out the ticket. It's $3.99 in the Dota store. Comes with that monolith HUD, and of course, a big shout out to the sponsors, Steel Series, as well. So here we go. Gonna jump into it real quick, and I don't know, man. I feel like we talked about the draft a bit for a while, actually, during the draft, and I don't know if we really came to an agreement on to who we prefer and whose draft we like, and we talked about the Vengeful Spirit and how it was kind of like iffy, but I don't know. This Wraith King kind of changes things up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we might see that fullback as one of the most prominent Wraith Kings in all of the Wraith Kingdom. So we'll see. I mean, it's typically one of the more laid-back style heroes. It's going to require a lot of farm to really be a big presence, or we might even see one of those trolley refresher style builds into a rapier or what have you. I mean, I've seen everything come out of this kind of hero, so we'll see how fullback takes it into his own hands. And, well, I mean, on paper, if I was to look at both these drafts, I would still probably favor Shadows of the Past.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can never really count out Isurus with that Wraith King, because that ultimate's really good. I think it's very strong. The problem is, I think that they just kind of have... I do agree with you. I think Shadows of the Past have the better lineup. They can kind of team fight early on. They can push early on. They have really good supports. They have really good farming heroes with the Slark and the Mirana. Honestly, I think with the way it's going to go here, it really comes down to the roaming and the ganking, and honestly, well, who can get that push going first. So we are going to jump into it, as you can clearly see. For Shadows of the Past, Sing Sing MC, he'll be on the Mirana. That should be Chicken MC playing that hero. We have one, which I believe is Risk, on the Slark. We'll have Joik, formerly the Joikernites, playing the Shadow Demon. 4 will be on the Shadow Shaman, and Nayrok 7, or Nayrok, will be on the Nature's Prophet, heading down to that bottom lane.
And for your Isurus South American squad, we got leading out this bottom lane, fullback himself, going to take on the role of the, underprivileged, I guess, Wraith King as far as pickings are concerned. And right next to him, we got Vengeful Spear, played by Nihidara. Sorry if I bluchered that one. Pepita on your Ancient Apparition. Mid lane, it's going to be DDX playing your Shadow Fiend. And finally, rounding things up for your top lane, it is going to be Destroyermon in a new stand-in, actually.
Oh, so the arrow misses. Early game aggression. Level 1 Smoke of Deceit pays off. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I'm sorry, but Nature's Prophet gets the kill. Oh, boy. Oh, wow, that escalated quickly. So Nature's Prophet, all of a sudden, gets an influx of gold for first blood there. The rest of the team getting some experience in gold as well. A nice pick-off, to be sure, but is it going to be enough to start things off here for this team? I mean, that was really good. They missed the arrow, but it didn't matter. There's too much damage come out from Shadows of the Past right now.
Yep. Nice aggressive maneuvers in the jungle early, and obviously I didn't catch it as I was trying to figure out who the hell Purple is, as they have now incorporated a stand into their lineup, so absolutely understandable, and good maneuvers coming out for Shadows of the Past going in early here. A bit of a rotation coming out from the supports, as it looks like they might make the long trip up to the top lane, but as expected, Mirana will be in the mid, so do expect the Shadow Demon to make heavy rotations probably towards the mid to address the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, but what's important and interesting to know while they were getting that kill down bottom is that they warded up all of these jungle camps. So whether they want to stack up, that's not going to happen. Nayrok getting caught in a position. The smoke is going to come through. Nayrok is running away. They cannot lock him down. The Vengeful Spirit looking for a magic missile. Will they dive? This is the question. Nayrok getting low. No rotations coming through from the rest of the team. Almost able to get away. He just backed off for a bit too long to Hydra. And Pepita so low. If there was any sort of global utility, they'd get that kill. But man, They will salve up and back off. All the meanwhile, Slark going on Destroyer Man here. There's the battery assault. Maybe one can get this kill. He still has Pounce. The rotation is coming through from the Shadow Demon. Looking for a disruption, maybe. Will they continue on this path to get the kill? No. They decide to go against it, and now they back away. So already a good start coming out from Isurus, getting that kill down bottom.
Yeah, a bit of a redemption. Happy to take what they can get, taking it back to Nayrok right there. Very nice in their own right. And then Clockwork could have manned up right there, but with the rotation coming in from Shadow Demon, made the smart choice to pull back. It did not get caught out from the disruption. So with that said, the aggression will continue here. He's making a rotation potentially to the mid lane as he lingers by the jungle.
Yeah, Joik maybe looking to start something up. Looks like he's going to be sacking these camps here. All the meanwhile, on the other side of things, Hydra's like, where's our creep camps? Why can't our Shadow Fiend take these camps? And they're going to be very sad about this because as a Shadow Fiend, especially on the Radiant side, that is your #1 job to be able to farm. And in order to do so, you need to use those camps. You have Shadow Razes that can clear out those camps so easily. Joik roaming through, gets spotted by Hydra, looking to use that magic missile. This all the while gives room for Nayrok to farm this bottom lane, and his phase boots are already done. Now it just comes down to having a Midas. So, I mean, despite him going down earlier, it's not a big deal. I think that one death kind of just, it really didn't accomplish all that much. Well, Clockwork maybe going to get caught out, and now he should be okay, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if it means setting him up for, oh no, the Pounce will fly out. He's trying to bait him into a bit of a scuttle and see if they can get close enough for either the Shackles or Disruption, but that will not be the case as they do pull back. As long as Nayrok has just a simple one-on-one matchup in the bottom lane against the Wraith King, he's happy with that because supports seem to be more worthwhile trying to pull through the camp, but he's going to go ahead and come over and contest that in the meantime. He's like, what are you going to do about it, huh? I'm going to take these for mine, and my Pumpkin Gang squad are going to take down these Centaurs.
Yeah, I mean, they could try to stun him up and try to bring him down, but he's got phase boots, so now he's even faster, and it's going to be so tough to bring him down from now on. The Vengeful Spirit's going to wrap around on the side with an Illusion Room. Nayrok, I think, spotted the side. He'll back off now. I mean, he's still very speedy. He pops the phase, he'll run away, and essentially he could just continue to do this back and forth, head to the jungle or not. Doesn't really matter. He could just leech experience in the lane. All the meanwhile, the Clockwork's not having a bad time top either. I mean, they've tried to gank him a couple of times, but it really hasn't worked out in their favor. So suddenly it looks like the Isurus, in terms of their farming heroes, they're doing a bit better, but not by much.
Yeah, not by much. I mean, obviously, Wraith King won't have a problem getting the CS if he just has to worry about taking a few pot shots from the Furion, so he'll be able to get all the last hits he can need as that Wraith King. But that's always the question, is like, how much farm do you need as a Wraith King to actually be super effective in this one? So we'll see if he can kind of just push on with this one, see that he doesn't draw too much attention to himself, as that's the opposite case in the mid lane, as Joik is constantly floating around, seeing if he can just kind of maneuver himself into getting in a good position. In the meantime, though, he will stack the camps, as a good support should do.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who's going to take that. It might just be a team camp to take later on. He can actually Shadow Poison that too once he gets some levels, but he's only level 1, so while he's doing all of that, he's getting no experience, and that's a bit of an issue. So at least that stack will get him some experience when it happens, assuming it doesn't get caught out by the Clockwork. They're going to try to make a move here on him. Disruption's going to fly. He's going to cog in a second, but Joik is standing right next to the TP up as well. Nayrok wants to be a part of this. Destroyer Man, about to get caught out. Very tanky, almost going to go down and get away, but no, Nayrok picks up the kill with the right click, and nice rotation to come through. Now he might just make his home in the jungle with the rest of the team here.
I mean, he could even make his adventure all the way over to that big camp and just help farm with that, and just kind of works out all beautifully for them. But yep, bottom lane, you do get to see the Wraith King still continue to farm without much contention whatsoever. He's even trying to block the camp away from the tower too much. But yeah, I think Shadows of the Past are happy to take the exchange. You get a quick pick off on that Clockwork, who is now having a very difficult time in comparison to Nayrok in the off lane.
Yeah, now Clockwork doesn't have that opportunity to head to the jungle and farm up. He's not one of those jungling heroes. Nayrok on the other side of things, he's just going to get some CS with his Trimp, obviously, and of course they're actually smoked up looking for a gank bottom. Luckily for Isurus, Joik is going to TP in, and now he might get caught out of position because, of course, there was that smoke gate coming through. They use the Chilling Touch, they're going to dive past the tower. Joik has the disruption, he might need to use it now, cannot use it in time, gets blown up by 2 stuns. Dear Lord, that was aggressive. Joik's like, well, I didn't expect that to happen, so unfortunate death for him there, but nice pick off for Isurus.
Didn't expect it to happen, but it did, and it's definitely something they needed. They get to even things up now, 2-2, a great little pickoff, and now they're going to potentially look to push down this tier 1 tower. If they can add even more gold towards fullback, that'd be very, very good. And it kind of all just came together finally that the stand-in Destroyermon is going to be the replacement, obviously, for 998, I guess, or 998 rather. I guess his lag issues just became too much of an issue, and they kind of subbed in someone else. So we'll see if he can hold his own. He's having a bit of a difficult time, rather, though, in this off lane.
Oh, that pull, it didn't pull. He actually got it pulled, but then they backed off and went to the lane because they just got in range of, I think, the melee creeps on the other side of the, of course, team. So that was almost a pull for him to bring the creep wave back to the tower and just be able to see us. He'll flare, obviously, to get some more, but here we go. Pounce is going to fly. Hex first. Now they TP up as well. Cogs might go, and they will, but it's a bit too late. There's going to be some shackles coming through. Nice magic missile. Is it going to matter, though? One with the last right click will get the kill. Now he backs away. The rotation close, but no cigar for Nahydra to help out there. And a big kill going the way, again, of Shadows of the Past. Arrow mid, DDX getting caught out. What an arrow. Sing Sing MC, Chicken MC with the right click and the Starfall to grab the kill.
Fate tonight.
There we go. We got something going. They were already trying to shut him down by denying that side pole camp. He was still leading in CS, but finally he gets what he wants. Gets a nice little pick off in the mid lane, and now Mirana has taken control of the mid over this Shadow Fiend. And so far, Shadows of the Past taking control of this early game, and especially in each of the lanes. Good for them. The only one coming on top for Isurus Gaming is this Wraith King. Now, he does lead the front as far as CS is concerned. He's looking to build forward. And as far as item progression, I'm not too sure where he's going to take it from here. He already has 2,300 gold. Is he going to go for an immediate Midas?
He could. Armlet early on as well might be nice. He could build that up pretty much right now if he wanted to. Treads as well. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of itemization you can go for. Even some people like to prefer the blade mail as well. It depends on how fullback wants to play this. It looks like he wants to be a bit more of a farmer because he has the Quelling Blade and obviously helps him get the last hits. Nayrok TPing down. He's going to get Wraithfire blasted, and he takes that damage, but no real follow-up there. They take the creep wave off. Fullback really wants this tower, though. They're going to forward for it as well. They're going to use the Nature's Wrath on top of all of that. Nayrok still doesn't have his Midas yet. 7 minutes in, but that's not that big of a surprise considering he is that off-lane Nature's Prophet. Looking to deny the tower potentially. Wraithfire Blast getting canceled. The animation not in range, or at least they didn't want to dive that tower. Now Nayrok can deny it. Looks like he will, though. Is fullback going to get there? Oh, yeah. He gets the tower. Nice pickup, fullback. Very close. Almost getting denied.
Steps right in and gets the tower, something he was working for a long time. And it is interesting to note his style of build, at least as far as the skills are, though he's been pretty much just sitting by his lonesome in the lane. He continued to level up the Wraithfire Blast. I guess that heavy nuke would still be favor. Nothing into Mortal Strike as of yet, which is pretty common, I would assume, but basically just a simplistic hero just to work with.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went for 1 point Vampiric Aura, but I think he wanted to push the lane. But meanwhile, mid, it's going to be a disruption. Arrow is going to hit, just barely connecting. There's going to be the magic missile, but DDX is going to fall to the second proc of that Starstorm. Nahydra getting chased down. The second kill going for Sing Sing MC. He's got a double. He's on fire right now with 3 kills. The DD is up as well, and now maybe looking to take a tower. All the while, Isurus, that's a little bit of a loss for him.
Definitely a little bit of a loss. They got to try to push this into the mid game and have a better performance. A key factor in that would definitely be if the Clockwork can manage to push a little bit further. He's almost about to be level 6, and then they can use the power of that hook shot to try to get a fight going in their favor and set something up. Obviously, we'll be waiting as well with the Wraith King and when he'll make his opportunity, or at least his move into these team fights and be a presence. But it is no question that they're going to have a rough early game if that's what they're going to be working with.
Yeah, honestly, actually the gold is not too far in favor of either one team just yet, but the thing is, this Wraithfire, or this Wraith King, excuse me, is what is he providing right now? Is he going to go for like a Radiance? I mean, he's saving up money. He's got 3,500 gold in the bank, and I can't really think of anything else he would buy other than a relic with that money that he saved. So unless he just wants to buy an item outright, like an Armlet, like a BKB even. I mean, he's got the money for a couple of these items, so I don't know. What is he building?
I don't know. I would hope it's a trolley like Refresher Orb. God, that'd be fantastic.
That would be pretty funny. Listen, I don't know how much that's going to help in this game, but like nothing would be better. Nothing would be better, I think. Yeah, go for it, dude. Go for it.
He bought it. What is it? Where is it?
It's a relic. He's going for the Radiance. He's going for the Radiance Wraith King. Something that's, I think, it's been seen from time to time, but I don't know. Are you
sure it's a Radiance and not like a spastic?
Is he going to go for a Rapier? Maybe an Abyssal. Like what? Meanwhile, mid disruptions flying through Soul Catcher as well. Arrow's going to hit up. There are the circuit wards. You cannot fight into this. Nahydra getting caught out of position. Sing Sing. There's the leap coming through. MC, I should say, not Sing Sing himself. Hook shot in. Destroyermon wants to try to fight. They have no leap ready to go. But now Moonlight Shadow might save his life, and it will. Battery Assault does not go through that invis. So they will take 2 kills, a tier 1 tower, and back off. All the while, though, 73 CS for fullback, and okay, all right.
All the meanwhile, in the shadows, a Wraith King waits for his opportunity to get back into this one. But, I mean, I don't think Shadows of the Past care. They're like, you're a Wraith King. What do we have to worry about down the road, all right? We're just going to take all the kills we can get. We'll start taking the towers now. We got the wards online to work with from the Shadow Shaman. We'll just inherit all the gold we can, and then, yeah, you can pray and sit back that this Wraith King will bring it home for you. But the real question is, Mott, will he be able to bring it home? If he goes diehard Rapier, he's going to hit really hard.
Okay, well, first of all, he's there. I'm almost certain that he's not going rapier. That would be the most throwy thing I've ever seen. I mean, like there's no reason for you to build a. I guess you have the reincarnation, and that's great and all, but like it's going to be a radiance. I think it almost has to be a radiance. I don't know. I can't.
But they have a lot of lockdown. It's going to be very questionable. I mean, more likely it's a Radiance. But, I mean, he doesn't have a BKB, any sort of survivability, and I actually missed that Ancient Apparition gets the catch-out on Slark, apparently.
Was the Ice Blast, maybe? I don't know where the Slark died.
It was Ice Blast catch. I probably saw him. Yep, top lane, they saw him very low and just got him with the ultimate. So, very nice pick-off by him.
Yeah, so I do want to make sure everyone's aware that the Mirana player is not, in fact, Sing Sing. It is Chicken MC, and the name usage is obviously, well, he wants to, apparently his idol, it looks like. So he does have his phase done, a drum as well. He's got some decent farm. Wraith King, 1,124 gold in the bank. He's still waiting to see what he's going. All the while, the Slark gets his Lothars up, and he's actually going to TP back top. His Lothars is close to being done. Just needs that Claymore to finish everything off here, and we'll go from there. But 12 minutes in, man, and we talked about it. The push and the team fight are strong. And that Radiance, I don't think it's going to be enough.
It's just, this is going to be still a dominating mid-game coming out from Shadows of the Past. Slark's going to be nearly complete now with that Shadow Blade, and that's going to be a support's nightmare. He's going to have free will taking down the Ancient Apparition, taking down the the Vengeful Spirit, rather, at any given moment. And it's going to make life difficult for Clockwork to try to catch anyone out. You have all the elusiveness of the Shadow Blade, of the Mirana ultimate right there, so it's going to make life really hard for him in the mid-game. So I don't know if they're going to be able to break through it.
Yeah, and it was that Radiance that did come out all the meanwhile for that Wraith King. It's flying out to him right now. So, yeah, you make some good points. This is a slippery team for Shadows of the Past, and the reincarnation actually is going to help that. I mean, if he goes down, they can fight around him. It really just comes down to baiting. But the thing is, Shadows of the Past, they're not going to take the bait too easily, and if they do, they're going to make sure they have the right time to fight here. You can see how aggressive they are right now. They're not even heading down to that bottom lane. They don't even want to deal with it. Pounce goes through top lane. Nahydra getting caught out once again as Slark will take the kill, regen up with the Shadow Dance, and then back off and get ready to go with his team.
Yep. Immediately gets the Shadow Blade and gets the first pick off on the support, like we were talking about. Just an immediate nightmare for supports now. Nowhere is safe. You got to be careful. Gets his quick first pick off. Number one getting it done, but in the jungle, you can see the Wraith King finally makes his appearance into the game, trying to run forward. The power of the Radiance has his ult to fall back on 4, trying to make a run. He's very slow from the ultimate. He can't man fight against this many, but Clockwork finally shows up, trying to man fight against one, but he will fall. Slark rather doing too much work. Clockwork gets cut out and taken down as well. Oh, the trap taken down. The Shadow Fiend unable to get out of this one, and he will fall. That's all pride and joy from Isurus Gaming, crumbling apart as Shadows of the Past are going to move forward. Can they get it? Nope. They want to take all 5 down. The Pumpkin Squad shoving her back, and they'll just fall back for now. But a 4-man takedown in exchange for 2.
That was about as poor as they could have played it for Shadows of the Past. They actually missed their Shackle and Disruption. They kind of mistimed it. They used the same abilities at the same time. And they got really low. They realized the Radiance Burn was doing a lot of damage. And they killed him once. They almost lost the Rasta. He was so low. And then everyone came through. Nayrok TP'd back in. And that's really it. That's really what they were hoping for. That Radiance to do something. And it didn't really do much of that engagement. He actually really didn't have help, though. So maybe in a 5-on-5 engagement, the Isurus are able to bounce back and do a bit more. But that's going to be hard now that Shadows of the Past are getting items.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a tough hill to climb if they want to be able to get to the opportunity for this Wraith King to really be a dominating force. I'm not seeing it. I'm not convinced just yet that Isurus Gaming have all that to fall back on. I think it's simply a matter of time now before Shadows of the Past just use the Shadow Shaman wards for taking out the Roach. But in the meantime, fullback's got to be careful as now they put their attention finally on him. Disruption, nice soul catcher, arrow to fly out. There's the blast, everything, the kit and caboodle. He will end up being taken down in the end. His ultimate was not available, and man, Shadows of the Past, they're looking to end this one very quickly.
Yeah, and that's I think what they need to do, especially against the Shadow Fiend. They don't want him to have any semblance of farm, and right now he doesn't. He's not even at his BKB yet, which is no big surprise. It's only 15 minutes in, and he went for Tread's Bracer, so he still has time, obviously, but they're going to lose pretty much all their Tier 1 towers right in a row. In fact, this is the last one. And like you mentioned, Reincarnation was not up. It's such a long cooldown at level 1, 260 seconds, so if you get ganked, you're in some trouble. So, I mean, that's something that he's got to keep in mind. He's playing a bit aggressively. He feels like he is the king, but really, I mean, it's problematic. And, well, the Hydra that's blasphemic, dude. Come on now, please.
Even Isurus Gaming are getting frustrated with the own pauses that have to come out here. And if you're playing the pause game, please throw back your beverage, as we are looking to end this one out on an intoxicated note, apparently. So, well, as we wait for this pause to come out, I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't think a Wraith King can pull this one out for him. It's a little too rough. Shadow Fiend's been crippled as well. They're getting caught out left and right. Well, Slark rather in the mid lane has been on the hunt. They did throw down this Desperation Sentry Ward, but it's a little far forward, and they don't have a tower to fall back on.
The whole thing about the Wraith King, though, is that he's supposed to be a part of these. It's kind of like how Ewo in the Slaughter was earlier on in the night. You're supposed to be aggressive. That's the type of hero you're playing, and that's why you picked him in the safe lane. And you have your hard farming, your hard carry in that mid lane to fall back on. The Wraith King is somebody that's supposed to be involved in fights, and right now, the only fights he's been involved in are ones that he's died from or pickoffs on Nayrok. So that means that they're really just, I think, they're actually on the downside here because of this. While that's all happening, Roche is being taken, but it looks like Isurus are going to maybe try to go for a trade here. They're not even going to try to push into this Tier 1 tower top. Everyone's missing on the map. They've got to know Shadows of the Past are up to something, but what a quick Roshan as Mirana gets the Aegis.
And part of the reason why it's so great to pick up a Shadow Shaman, especially on the Dire side, who already has that advantage of getting into the Roshan pit very sneakily and quickly. So they do work with that, no surprises there, and just continue to spread and farm, but no tower exchange, unfortunately. I guess Isurus Gaming, without the proper map control or vision, couldn't really find out what Shadows of the Past were doing, and yeah. Papita, ripped apart.
That's all you can really say. Is just I don't know what I expected there. This is a interesting choice for Isurus to try to go for the trade. Slark, you've got to be careful, my friend, and he'll try to defend this all the while. Look at this push coming mid. Look at this push coming bottom. Don't have their super wards, unfortunately, so they can't take the Tier 2 bot, but Tier 2 mid, maybe. No. TP's coming through. They throw up the Necro. That's a Necro 2. DDX is in Viz right now. Nayrok, it looks like he didn't see him come through. DDX might use his Requiem and will. Nayrok got to back off. Not taking that much damage. Nice disruption coming through. The Soul Catcher as well. Demonic Purge. DDX. No, my friend, you are going to fall. He is dead. The
Those pumpkins blocking him out, shoving him right back. Nayrok doing serious work. They end up getting the tower in the end. Actually, it was denied out by the Vengeful Spirit. A mini victory nonetheless, but not quite enough when you got a game that's 5 to 16. The gold decreasing down. A jump in coming out apparently as they look to try to. Oh, my camera is jumping over, and they get disrupted. They can't quite get him. Nope, he ends up falling, or they're going to trade himself over.
Yeah, that's not a good fight. That is not what you want. 18 to 6, Shadows of the Past. It's looking sort of like a previous replay of the last game, as they now almost have a 10,000 gold lead and a 12,000 experience lead. And eventually, Isurus did have to GG out of that one. They're trying to tie it up here 1-1 in this series, but as it stands, Shadows of the Past looking to take this 2-0 with no problem whatsoever. And honestly, their gameplay has been absolutely superb. Other than one or two flubs here and there, they really haven't had an issue. They've looked strong. They've hit the arrows they've needed to hit. Chicken MC has been a great Mirana player thus far, and I don't know. They look good, man. They look solid.
Yeah, they look great. He's looking to push forward into that Mantis style, which would help their push power even a little bit further. But now, speaking of push power, they're looking to take it to the top lane. They want that Tier 2 tower. They're even going to use the wards to do so. Here comes a TP. The blast will come, but fullback, my friend, you are now a chicken. Caught up, shackled, and ripped apart. Didn't have his ultimate, apparently, as he just feeds himself over. Vengeful looking to do the same as she falls. Once again, Nayrok now moving to dominating streak. A jumping coming out by Destroyermon, but my friend, you are the one to get destroyed as he is shut down by the rest of the squad. Shadows of the Past, they're looking to clinch this one as they clean up the remainder of this Tier 2 tower.
I gotta say, he did have his ultimate. He didn't have enough mana for it. Wraith King got mana burn from the Necro Archer. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Dirty tactics.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the problem when you go for the Wraith King. You have to be aware of your ult and not having enough mana for it. And when there's a Necro 3 online, or a Diffusal Blade, or a mana burn, or what have you, that's something that you've got to be careful about. And unfortunately, it was not. He TP'd right in. He fell very quickly. No reincarnation to fight up. And a fight that they probably could have had an okay chance at kind of goes sour because of it. So we're 20 minutes in, and the graph continues to plummet in favor of Shadows of the Past. 12,000 now, and Isurus, they are just having a rough time. They're going to smoke for desperation here, try to find something that can go their way. There's 5 heroes down bottom, however, for Shadows of the Past. Sing Sing MC, or Chicken MC, excuse me, is looking to initiate. He's got to be careful. He'll run right into the Hydra. They'll spout out the smoke of deceit. That's kind of wasted there. You're looking maybe for an arrow from the Mirana, but just taking some damage right now is getting kind of low. Fight might break out soon.
Yep, they can play as aggressively as they want. They do have the Moonlight Shadow to fall back on. Ooh, a leap over, almost eats the stun, but will get away from any potential danger. The Pumpkin Squad and company looking to push forward as they try to take down this tier 2 tower. Rocket trying to slow him down desperately, but ooh, the hook shot won't quite catch. Pounce goes out. There's a Cogwell. Slark getting trapped in the corner. Pops the BKB, but he's eating the right clicks, and he will end up falling. That's very unfortunate, but fullback gets caught out. Necro Broken Company ripping apart, and he will end up falling once again, not able to use the ultimate. And now, we'll see if Isurus Gaming can scare them back out of the jungle. Nope, Sacred Arrow will not catch, and Shadow Fiend, man, trying to get away, very low life. Will do so.
He did. I mean, they did work that fight. Oh, wow. Chicken MC being very brave. Nice swap coming through. They will get the kill with Demonic Purge. Nicely done there. Chicken MC with the Aegis wants to fight as ballsy as possible, but that's about as good as a fight as you're going to get for Isurus. Oh, he's going deep.
Oh,
the Manta.
Wow, the Madness.
Look at that, man. That's maybe the most aggressive thing I've seen. His Aegis is up now. He can pounce away, leap away in 4 seconds time. He has Moonlight Shadow to back off as well, but they're not going to use it. But like I was saying, that's about as good as a fight as it's going to get for that Slark. And he goes down because he's stuck in the corner, and nobody puts Baby in a corner, but apparently they did, so.
And with that said, that's the last outer tower taking down in the end, so this is where we begin to suffocate Isurus Gaming into their own base when there's a lot of heroes on their team that need that farm. So now it becomes questionable, how are we going to venture out of the front gate and be able to inherit all that extra gold from our own jungle? We have to employ that buddy-buddy system and just be very cautiously about how we do it. But for now, as you can see mid lane, they're just standing around. There's nothing really we can do. We're just going to have to wait for the creeps to come to our own door and farm it up.
Yeah, and honestly, at least they have the creep wave will come very quickly. They'll be able to farm at their base, but that's it. They won't be able to kind of split up the farm and use that jungle like you talked about. And yeah, it is like the buddy system. I mean, you got to hold hands, be buddy checks here coming out for Isurus Gaming, and that's just too much to deal with. Nayrok picks up a Maelstrom for an interest profit, because why the hell not have that item? And he already has his Necro 3, smokes up coming out from a couple of the Shadows of the Past player. Mirana all the while working on that bottom lane. They'll push in top. They don't have their Mirana player, the bottom. They've got to be careful. This is... Oh, they dusted! They somehow knew! They knew that Slark was there. He pounces away. Ooh, what a dust coming through. Now everyone's split up from Shadows of the Past. They're backing off. Nayrok wants to go, and he pops the Necro. Fullback is running straight at them. There's the Wraithfire Blast. Nayrok maybe in trouble. There's the pounce. BKB. Shadow Dance going through as well. And the Hydra will fall first. Mech is up. Now Destroy Mine taking a lot of damage, killing that Necro 3 unit. Backing around to the backside. They're going to pincer them in. And now Arrow's going to fly, but the BKB is up. DDX using that Requiem. It's going to fly. Is it going to get a kill? Slark trying to do work. He's here in the trees looking for Destroyer Mine. Cannot find him. Sing Sing MC, Chicken MC looking to try to man mode up here. All the meanwhile, fullback getting caught out. He has that reincarnation, so even if they bring him down once, they won't be able to bring him down again. They can't get that kill. TP away. All the meanwhile, Chicken MC does get DDX, who of course got caught out. Fullback just missing that arrow is Chicken MC. He'll back his way out of there now. And of course, still in the trees, Destroyer Mon. He is staying in the trees, mind you, but a fight that I think Shadows of the Past wins.
Yes, stay in the trees. Please take Hi's advice. Don't come out just yet. Nowhere is safe. But, man, that would have gone so much better if Vengeful Spirit had that level 2 ultimate. And I was talking about, that's always the questionable thing when you have a support Vengeful Spirit. Level 1, I mean, the swap is great and all, but you have no range to work with. Had it been level 2, they could have quickly swapped the Slark and probably got a nice isolation play going for themselves, but they couldn't quite get it, and it just blew up in their face very badly, and they just began to outplay him. Man, Chicken MC was just orb walking down, taking apart the Shadow Fiend solo. just with the help of that DD rune. It's just, they're on another level right now in this game, at least.
Yeah, they really are. I think that that's kind of been clear throughout the entire game, and it really, I think it comes down to, can they close the game out, or is it going to take another 10, 20 minutes or whatever to get this game going in their direction? So they really should be able to finish this off, but who knows? Maybe they can beat up a bit, and maybe somehow Isurus gets back into it. The problem is the Shadow Fiend, he's getting close to his next item, but he still only has that BKB. Fullback has had a Radiance and Treads for the longest time, but nothing else. His drum is now coming out. Oh, and Narok sniping out the courier that was at the secret shop, which is going to pick up the Eagle Song that was Shadow Fiend's. So all of a sudden, that's not there, and that's an extra 175 gold going the way of Shadows of the Past. And that's going to be that.
Now, that's just frosting on the shit cake now for Isurus Gaming. There's no other way to put it. Like, a little bit of extra damage, and I'm sure he would have been very thankful to have it, but now they have to wait it out, and once again, just locked back into the base. Here comes the smoke, though. They're looking to push the lines and try to catch him off guard here. Chilling, touch, applied. Looking to move to the south. Maybe they could try to make a move here on the Nature's Prophet. Nayrok gotta be careful. There we go. Can we get the swap? Yes! Got the swap this time, though. Nayrok pops the book just in time with the cold feet. And with everything else, even a dust popped it. Will not be able to get away from that one. Necro Book is well taken down. A mini victory there for Isurus Gaming.
Yeah, that's one pickoff that they needed. They just, at least for a moral victory, just because they needed something to hang their hats on. And especially after he picked up, of course, the courier kill. It's something to get them going in the right direction. However, the farm continues just to go the way of Shadows of the Past. Of course, Gold Graph continues to dip down further and further. 14,000 in their favor now, and 15,000 in experience. The item choices, as you can clearly see, Butterfly done soon for the Mirana. Blink Dagger's already up for the Rasta and for the Shadow Demon. Maelstrom's up for the Nature's Prophet, like I talked about. There are a couple of items coming through for Isurus, and they're actually not too far behind. I mean, these are items that are good for Shadows of the Past, but they're not like game-winning items, except for maybe Mirana's Butterfly. They're not even getting these BKBs up, except for that of the Shadow or the Slarkin. He's actually going to try to go to town in DDX. This stun might go, but the Shadow Dance, nicely done. Can he get the kill? Yes, now he's got to back away. No Lothars. There's the Moonlight Shadow. Nice BKB. The Dark Pact early as well, just to make sure that Wraith Fire Blast did not connect, and if it did, it only lasts for a second or so.
Yeah, man, that's part of what Slark does best. Gets in there, gets a quick pick off, and able to get away with the help of that Shadow Dance, man. So doing serious work. Shadow Fiend has nothing to get away. No Blink Dagger, no Shadow Blade himself, and once he pops that BKB, it's over. I mean, he has nothing else. So he's already down to, he's down to 8 seconds. I guess that's not too bad. I do kind of question the Blink Dagger pickup. I mean, I guess they just really want this Wraith King to be able to be in the heart of the battle when he uses his ultimate, but not really much else to offer. I mean, they got a fair amount of lockdown coming. Wouldn't be surprised if, actually, Nayrok with the Maelstrom build. Not going with a sheep stick or anything like that. He's going to go with a bit of a Maelstrom. I guess the extra pushing power.
Yeah, the lightning. I mean, I think also Mjolnir would be really nice to have just for any of them. And usually you see Mirana build it, but if you don't have to build it, then obviously have somebody else pick it up. So I think it's fine. I mean, he's a right clicker. He's trying to right click anyway. And if you're going to go right click, people usually go Deso, but he doesn't really need armor reduction, I think, at this point. They just kind of need that lightning damage, because if you think about how squishy everyone is for Isurus, it's kind of gross. So in terms of the Wraith King, I think he's like the initiator. You kind of treat him like an alchemist to a certain extent, or even a Doom, but oh, Nayrok, why are you there? No, that TP's not going to work. You're getting battery assaulted. No way he survives this. Oh, so close. Of course, battery assault, just getting the kill. Slark coming through. There's a sentry ward on the ground, my friend. Get out of there. You do not want to be there. You are alone. Nayrok goes down again, but
if they saw him, they could have done something about it. The rest of the team was way back by the Ancients, but I don't think they knew that. I think they just saw reinforcements potentially coming in, so they immediately pulled back. But they once again got Nayrok in that bottom lane, so he's getting a little overzealous with these side pushes, and without the help of a CC of a sheepstick, whatever, you're just working with a Maelstrom. You don't have much to fall back on, so he does end up falling regardless. But they do get that Roshan pickup, and I'm sure they're happy to funnel the Aegis over. So we'll see when they take the next opportunity to try to push the high hill and actually get into the base.
That's the problem, isn't it? I mean, they've been trying to do that for the past, like, maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so, and it's just been kind of the issue. They have the Aegis now, but I still think Isurus are farmed enough where they can make a potential stand and actually win the team fight if everything goes their way. So it really comes down to initiation, it comes down to the Aegis usage, and it comes down to really your item usage as well. But Nayrok's going for an Aghanim Scepter, which, like, nobody builds that item on that hero. And for good reason. There's other items you can go for. They want to push down the creep waves quickly, but like they have Ether Shock, so I don't know. That's interesting, I guess. Oh!
I mean, if it was a...
Ooh, Chicken MC! Alright, he leaps away. Okay, sorry to cut you off again. Sorry.
No. Just desperation, Moonlight Shadow. He's able to get away. But I was going to touch base on that Agno Scepter. I mean, I'll see it if it's an early game Agno Scepter, so Nature's probably can just inherit a lot of farm. But this late in the game, it's a bit intriguing. I guess you want to keep constant pressure on the base and be able to easily, push all lanes at once. I guess it can work in that aspect, but I mean, it's more a matter of they need to break the high ground. They need to figure out how they can get into the base. They're going to be fighting into a lot. I mean, and a lot of damage. Ancient Operation with the Ice Blast, and of course, Chilling Touch will always be on everyone. And then the Wraith King Ultimate being applied, they're not going to be able to maneuver very easy inside the confined spaces of that base.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that's why it's so hard to push up high ground here, because of that ultimate, because of just really, I think, the lockdown and kind of control that Isurus has. And it's just sad that they weren't able to kind of capitalize earlier on in the game and have an okay time, because they certainly had the team fight to contest this game. And not that it's over right now. I mean, they still have a shot at it. And honestly, okay, there's a Sentry Ward there. You're not going to get the kill. This is something that Isurus has done well as well, is just keep Sentry Wards up at the high ground. Every single high ground spot there are Sentry Wards, just to make sure that they have vision of whoever's roaming around, even in this low ground here, of course, in this mid lane. So I think now it's a problem for Shadows of the Past. What can they do to get in? They have 3 minutes of Aegis. We'll find out.
I mean, first thing they can do, there you go. For a swap, if they can catch out the Slark, but they won't quite be able to get him. Reinforcements are nearby, looking to make a move in. But what I was going to say is one of the first things they do is they put down a ward inside the base. They sneak it right over here so they get a little bit more vision on the high ground. And if they find the right opportunity to make space and throw down some wards, they will be able to take it. But for now, they want to split push. And whatever wherever lane they want to address, the other lane, it's going to be a bit of a shit show.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And you can see them doing it right now. They're trying to pressure this bottom lane. They threw up the Serpent Wards. There is a fortification. The tier 3 is going to get low, but it should be forted here. They should keep it alive. They don't want to waste the fort, though. Top lane's getting pressured now. The tier 3 top looking like it's going to go down. There's the disruption. They're being overrun. Arrow hits. Pepita is going to fall. Fullback maybe next. He got Demonic Perch. He still has the mana for the reincarnation. They've got to back off now. 4 step away from Joy coming through. There's the Slark pounce on the Hydra. Magic Missile's going to go. Doesn't matter. Nice Dark Pack in time for it. Here we go. We see a TP coming through. Who's it going to be? The Hydra buying back into the game. Fullbacks here as well. Reincarnation down now, as you can see, but the bottom racks all the meanwhile. The Rat Dota is going through. BKB Requiem. No, DDX, you committed too much for that push back. That was not what you wanted. Back and forth we go, top and bottom racks, and tier 3 goes down again.
This is all you need in the bottom push squad here. Just a Rasta and a Nature's Prophet. They're just Ether Shock the creeps and push in with the Treants, and now the racks are going to end up falling. And as you can see in the top lane, they're not faring any much the better. Chicken MC looking to try to kite out the Clockwork, has the Aegis to fall back on, but Clock will end up going down. Destroyermon, ooh, desperate mechanism, but it will not matter. Pounce, and they shut him down. This should be game.
Yeah, they're going to take another set of racks here. They've already taken the ones bottom. Meanwhile, Nayrok's working on the tier 3 mid. The Necrobook down for only 10 more seconds. Then when that's up, oh boy, is that going to push pretty quick. Ice Blast is going to fly, doing some damage. Chicken MC leaping forward, but 2 sets of racks down here, and that means that at 33 minutes in, I just don't see a way Isurus get back into this. They should be calling GG pretty much at any moment, really, unless I just don't see a way that they can throw this right now. Buyback coming through from Destroyermon, as well as fullback. They want to fight. They want to at least try something. Mantisal is going to go. Nayrok still working on the Raxes here, and it looks like it will be Mega Creeps in a moment. But while that's all happening, the BKB one is going to make it out of there just in time. They will pick up the kill on 4. I guess kind of collateral damage there. Big double kill with that hookshot coming through. Grabbing the Slark, who was making his way out of the base. Now Nayrok getting swapped. They'll get the kill on him, it looks like. But they've already lost everything else. One coming back in. I think you should leave, my friend. You bought back. This is not where you want to be. Moonlight Shadow's going to go. There's the disruption. There's the Soul Catcher. He's got no reincarnation. Now they can fight. Dark Pack is going to fly. Fullback is now dead for 68 seconds with that buyback helping out. And GG is finally called.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter with all that heavy push force. Next thing you know, the racks are all completely down. We got Mega, so you may have won that mini battle, but you got no place home to go to anymore. And just like that, man, North America to come out on top tonight, taking both games in this series, 2-0, actually all night North America take it as well, with even the Sneaky Nyx Assassins winning their series 2-0. So good night for North America, I suppose, Mott.
Yeah, South America, they'll rein it in. They had a decent night the last night, obviously, and it's obviously still very early here. Ping issues certainly don't help, obviously, but as it stands right now, good victory for Shadows of the Past. Looking forward to seeing what they can do in the near future. We'll have a couple more games for you tomorrow. We'll get those brought up real quick. But in the meantime, big shout-outs to SteelSeries, our sponsors. Make sure you guys check them out at steelseries.com. Of course, if you want to be a part of the ticket, you can check it out at AmericanDotaLeague.com, and it's in the Dota TV store for about $3.99, and it comes with that monolith HUD, excuse me. Obviously, a big pickup there to control the camera. Listen to us in game. And, of course, brought to you by High Ground TV. Thanks for watching, guys. You can follow us over at highground.tv. That's our website. Highground.tv is Mont. That's me. You can follow me at twitter.com/MontDota2. Coddle Guy, of course, at twitter.com/Coddle Guy. And What Is Hip, which is twitter.com/WhatIsHipTV. Coddle Guy, do you have the games on tap for tomorrow by any chance?
I actually do, Mon. I got you covered right here. It looks like tomorrow we will be back at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be going with CMB Esports, or formerly known as Swaggin' Tiger, going against Osiris Gaming. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have, once again, Shadows of the Past, going to be going against No Earth Spirits. So a bit of NA Dota going head-to-head. Should be very, very exciting stuff.
Yeah, and that'll be a great couple of series tomorrow, obviously. Make sure you guys stick around then. Like you said, 7 o'clock Eastern, of course, Eastern time, and we'll wait for that. Obviously, we'll cut to a quick commercial break here. We'll stay in chat for a bit, but as it stands right now, we're done, and thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.